Hey, how's it going? And today I just wanted to do a follow-up to a video I did some time ago about using spreadsheets to import data into Unreal Engine. And I wanted to make the case that I think this is a better way than using arrays inside of Unreal Engine. The first reason why it's better is that it's much easier to input the data on a spreadsheet than it is inside of Unreal Engine. And the second reason, which you'll see in a little bit, is that when we have access to that data, we can access it by way of the row. So even though there might be 20 columns of data, by accessing the row name, we can get all that data in one fell swoop. So you'll see that in just a minute here. So right now I'm in Excel. I wanted to talk about this one little issue that was bothering me. So when we import this data into Unreal Engine, by default, the first column has a name called row names, but we don't have to put it. It doesn't have to be there, but it's there. So I'm going to delete that name where it says row names. And then here, starting on the second position, we'll just go ahead and have our row name. And I would recommend just using a number, because when we go to cycle through the spreadsheet, it's much easier to just use an integer as a row name. So we can easily access row 1, row 2, row 3, and all the columns that are affiliated with that row. So here I've just got a very simple spreadsheet. And that's all you got to do is have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the first column, no name, and then whatever data that you have in the column. So I have name, age, and sex. And then when we go to export this, we're going to go to File, and we'll save as. You're going to see that you have a number of options here. And let's take a look at this right now. We have CSV, CSV, and all this other stuff. The one we probably want is CSV UTF-8. And from all I can tell from looking this up online is that UTF-8 is the best choice to choose. So we're just going to go ahead and save that out. We'll call it test data 1 and go save. Go OK. And now it's saved. So that completes this part of it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Unreal Engine, and we're going to see what we can do and how easy it is to access this data without using arrays. Okay, in this section, we're going to go ahead and try to import the data table we just created in Excel, the spreadsheet I mean, not the data table. So before we can even import it, we need a structure to import it into. So we're going to right click, go to Blueprint, and we'll go to Structure. And we'll just double click into this. The name of the columns need to match that in your spreadsheet. So the first one was name, and it's a text data type. So we're going to switch that to text. Click here to add another one. This is going to be age, and it's also text. And we're going to click one more time, and this is going to be sex. And that's all we need to do for our structure. And now we can go ahead and import the data table, and it will automatically recognize it as a data table, as a spreadsheet, excuse me, and it'll give us this struct, an option to reference the struct we just created. So we're going to go add or import, either one, and we're going to open that data. I keep saying data table, but it's a spreadsheet. It's going to be a data table really quickly here. So here we click this for this struct that we just created, this new user defined struct, and go apply. And then it automatically creates our data table. Now, if I double click into this, you'll see what I was talking about earlier. So let's take a moment to look at this. I don't know why it comes in compacted like that, but you see how it has a default row name. And when we go to cycle through the data table, when we go to access these rows and columns, we can use these numbers to access the rows. So it becomes very, very easy to access with just the integer. We can access all these columns of data. So it's pretty amazing, and it's a lot faster than using an array. So that's that part of it. Now the next part is just getting access to the data table itself. And in the next section, I'll show you how to do that. In this section, I want to try to get the data out of it and display it on the screen. And let's see how fast we can do this. So the first thing is we're going to need a widget blueprint, right? So we're going to right click, go to user interface, widget blueprint. We'll just leave it called new widget blueprint. We'll double click into it. And this is all, of course, pretty standard here. Let me go ahead and dock this up top. We'll get a canvas panel, drag it onto the screen like that, and we'll get a text block. And actually, what we're going to need is we're going to need 3 of these. So I'm just going to drag it down here, and then I'm just going to duplicate it. Control D, Control D. The first one, when you use text blocks as a variable, it's important to name them. Let's name, and it's going to be a variable. Age, and it's going to be a variable. And the last one is going to be called sex. And it's also going to be a variable. And then we'll see this over on the graph side once we're done. And then I'm just doing this very basic. I'm not going to try to make this fancy or anything like that. So I'm just going to grab this and put it over here. Sometimes these are hard to grab. Because like, I don't even know which one I got there. They're all on top of each other. So that's age. This looks like it's sex. So let's put that down here. And this one, here, last one here, and we'll just drag it right there. Now let's say we wanted to affect all of these at once. So what we can do is select them all. And then if we change with them all selected, we can change the font on all of them together here. So let's just change this to, let's say, maybe 50, just so it's a little bit bigger. And we'll just go compile and save. We're going to try to get the blueprint that we're going to create to communicate to here with an event dispatcher, and let's see if that's going to work. So let's create a blueprint that we can use to make all this happen. So we're going to come up here and go to blueprint class, go to actor, leave it called new blueprint. We're going to double click into it. We're going to drive this off of a keyboard press. We don't need these, so we're going to delete those. And let's just go ahead and set it up so our user widget will display. So we're going to create widget here, and we're going to go to our new widget blueprint. And here we can just pull off of here and just go add to player screen right here. That. And that'll make our widget appear on the screen. Then we're going to right click, we're going to go to keyboard press, and we'll just drive this off of a 1 here. Now we're going to need a way, like I mentioned earlier, to loop through our rows, and the row names are all integers, so it becomes very easy, but we're going to need a variable for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click here, and we'll just call this index, indx. We'll go here to Boolean and change that to integer. And by default, we want to, let's compile and save that so we can enter a value. And we want it to be -1. So we can see. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this over here like this and get it and drag it over here and go set it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to search for, we'll pull off of here and search for plus plus, which is our incrementer here. So every time we press the button, it's going to increment by 1. So we just pop this in here, and this can go in here like that. And that'll get us through the initial part of this. There's a lot more we can do here, but I just wanted to show you the basic operating of this. So how we can get all the data out of the rows. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to search for something called get table row names. And I don't know where these names come from, but let's right click and go get data table row names. This one right here. And it wants us to select our asset, and there's only one. And we're going to pop this into here like that. And then off of here, you'll see it has an array, right? Off of here, we're just going to type in get a copy of the array. And then we're driving it off of this incrementer that we just built, right? So we're going to plug this into here, there, and get a copy of the array. And then off of here, we can get the data table row names. Get the data table row is what we want. And we just keep on going along here. And the data table, there's only one. We select that. Now the last thing that we need to do is just get this data over to our widget blueprint. So what I'm going to do is click here, get an event dispatcher, and we'll compile this. No errors. And then over here, you notice we have these inputs for data. So I want 3 of them. So I'm going to click here, here, and let's just call them what they are. So the first one is going to be name, The next one is going to be called this, and this is going to be a text. And the second one is going to be called age. It's also text. And the last one is going to be called sex. And it's also text. Right? And then what we're going to do is just drag this over here and go call. And you'll see where we have our 3 fields inputs for the data. And here on the out row, we can click this and go split struct, and you'll see here's our output here. And we just click this in here, put this in here, put this in here, and then lastly, we're going to put row found, and that should be all we need to do for a basic system. There's a lot more you can do with this too, but let's just get it working. We'll compile and save. Now the last part is, well, I have that done. Let's just go ahead and drag this into the scene as well and search for auto input here real fast. And we want to set this to player 0. So all we have to do is finish setting up our widget blueprint here. So let's jump over into the graph. All we need to do, we don't need this event pre-construct anymore, so I'm going to delete that. We don't need this event tick, so I'll delete that. And the first thing we need to do is just get a reference to our blueprint so we can access the event dispatcher. So we'll get actor of class right here and select the class is our new widget blueprint. I can search for it pretty fast. New widget blueprint. And this pin represents a reference to it. So we can turn that into variable, but we don't need to. And then the next thing that we're going to do is, now that we have this, we can search for that event dispatcher. So we're going to go search for assign, and then it's the name of the event dispatcher is new, so we type in new, and it's right here. And what this is going to do is it's going to not only trigger this event every time we press 1, but it's also going to send in the data values. So then all we need to do is get these references to our variables over here, drag them over here like this. Whoops, get name, and then if I can just hit control and drag to an age, and there's age. So I should probably put these in the order that they come in, like that. And then all we need to do here is just pull off of here and go set text. And I can control D this. So control D, and we can just go like this. We can just daisy chain this, and like this. And then the sex is going to go in here. So there's going to be some wiring here, right? So this wire is in here. This wire is in here. I should probably use a sequence for this, sequence node for this, but so everything's wired up like so. And that should do it. That should do it. So let's go and compile and save. Let's go into Unreal Engine. So now let's see if this works. I hit play and click into the scene and press 1. And there's John, Sam, Michelle, Wongster, and Gavishti. So you can see how easy it can be to bring in massive amounts of data using data tables, and it's much better than using an array. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.